Chances are you think you've already learned everything there is to know about how HTML handles spaces. Well, there's still a couple of more interesting things. Let's take a look at this document called linebreak.html. We're going to learn about creating and preventing line breaks in paragraphs. Notice this first paragraph here goes on and on and on, and we've seen that before, and how that is interpreted in the browser. The browser goes ahead and ignores the fact that it's all on one line and wraps it how it sees fit. Likewise, this other paragraph, which in this source document is wrapped to 6 different lines, the browser ignores all of that, treats each group of white space, be it new lines, spaces, or some combination thereof, treats each one as one space, and again wraps it just as it does the other one that had no line breaks in the source code. Well, what if we would like to create a line break right here after the word paragraph, so that in the browser, after the word paragraph and the period, the source file starts on the next line over here. In HTML, you can do that by inserting a forced line break with the BR tag. Put in a BR tag right there. Notice I'm not breaking the line. I'm just putting in the BR tag. Save the file. Come over here into the browser and reload. Now, the source file has no line break. Starts on a line all by itself. Here's a long paragraph. Is on a line all by itself, and then the source file has no line break, starts a new line, and the rest of the paragraph wraps from there. Now, what if we wanted this other paragraph to not wrap in the way that it's wrapping? In fact, looking over here in the browser, let's say that we need a couple of words to stay together. In the. Let's say we don't like those two words on 2 different lines. We don't think it reads right. So we'd like to have those 2 words stay together, still have a space between them, but not have it wrap between those 2 words. How do we do that? Well, we go back into here to our text editor, and here's in the, and there's that space we don't want to break. We put in a non-breaking space. Now notice the way I did that. Ampersand, NBSP, semicolon. The ampersand and the semicolon mean that this is a meta character. Sometimes in the HTML documentation you'll see the word entity or named entity. And those are really meta characters that mean I'm going to put in this sequence of characters and you're going to interpret that as being some special character. In this case, NBSP means non-breaking space. Let's go ahead and save the document and bring it up in the browser and see what happens. Now remember, what we were trying to accomplish is to keep these 2 words in, the, together. Have it not wrap there. And if they were just one word, it would probably wrap before them. So we expect it to wrap after wrapped and before in. Let's see if that's what happens. Sure enough, in the is now kept together and the wrapping happens around it. What if we want this entire paragraph to not wrap at all? What if we want the entire paragraph to be on one line? No wrapping. How would we accomplish that? Well, one way to do that is to replace all the spaces in the document with non-breaking spaces. Let's select the document and use the Search and Replace feature in our editor. BBEdit, like many high-end editors, has a very powerful search and replace facility using what's called regular expressions, or in this case they call it grep, which is a Unix term for regular expressions. grep stands for Generalized Regular Expression Parser. In any event, the \s means any kind of space, any kind of white space, and a plus means at least one of these up to as many as there are in a row. So we're going to replace a sequence of spaces and new lines and other white space with one non-breaking space character, and it has to have the \/ before it, otherwise the search and replace mechanism will interpret the ampersand as something else. So \& NBSP semicolon. We've also selected search the selection only, so in the editor we selected the part that we wanted to be searched and replaced, which is that paragraph. We'll go ahead and say replace all. 51 occurrences replaced. Now our entire paragraph is on one line with non-breaking space characters instead of the spaces. And if we go over here into the browser and reload, we expect that paragraph to not wrap at all anymore. Oh, I forgot to save. Let's save and then go into the browser. Now when we reload, we expect this paragraph to all be on one line with no wrapping at all. There we go. Just as we expected, that paragraph is all on one line. Now you know just about everything there is to know about how HTML handles spaces.